What's good, you guys? Daniel Cruz here, back with another episode of Cook with Cruz. So during today's episode, I kind of want to go over beat block, writer's block. I don't think I did an episode covering that topic. I'm sure some of you may be wondering what my take is on that. So first off, I believe that it's perfectly normal to kind of be in a rut and not know what to make. So I do kind of have a philosophy that kind of, I guess, psychologically breaks it down. If you know who Curtis King is, he actually did a video on basically, for the most part, what I think my philosophy is on beat block and how to overcome that. He says, I believe there's an artist side and like a scientist side that's like super technical about everything. Mine is more, I guess, kind of like the artist side, or more so the creative side, the no rules side, with a big emphasis on no rules. And then you have your producer side. Just as he mentions in his videos, those are two different types of mindsets that you gotta lock yourself into on certain points of when you're making a song. So when you're starting off a beat, you want to go in with the creative, no rules side. And the biggest part is to not judge yourself. Judging to me is more of the producer side, which comes later. You really just want to go in, make what speaks to you, whether that be you making a melody, a certain sound, certain patch, or you're going through samples. Find what speaks to you without judging it. Not judging it is probably the biggest part here, because judging it, that's when you're going to get into your rut. Nothing's going to sound good to you. You're just not going to get any work done. So starting out, get your foundation, be as open-minded as possible. Again, tell yourself not to judge what you're making. I know I've mentioned this in a handful of episodes already. Whenever I'm adding something, I usually mention that I felt that this needed to be here, or I felt this melody sounded good with everything else. That was all feeling and not judging, really. So that's me being on the creative side, more going for the feel of it rather than analyzing and judging it to see if it fits. So going for a feel and just having no rules, no judgments, that's where you're going to get your foundation. You're going to get a lot more work done that way. If you still find yourself having trouble just getting into that mindset, that creative, no rules, no judgment zone in your brain, there is an exercise that you can do. And it is actually literally an exercise. You may have seen before, exercise, getting out, just being physically active can help. But if you want, before you go in, you start your session, or if you find yourself getting stuck, literally take 2 minutes out and like do some jumping jacks, push-ups, pull-ups, whatever. Just get your heart rate up for just a few minutes. It doesn't have to be a whole complete hour-long workout. Couple minutes, get your heart rate up, get your blood pumping. So after you do that, just jump right in, and you may notice you may feel more carefree, less judgmental. You're gonna get more of that feel back, that creative side back. I know it sounds crazy, but try it for yourself if you feel like, you can't really start nothing. I don't know the whole details behind it, but there's actually science behind it. Physical activity does do something in the brain, releases dopamine, whatever, that's actually really good for you, especially on your creative side. You could probably find some articles online about it. But yeah, feel free to try that. Take a few minutes out, get your heart rate up, jump in, and that'll probably help you get in that more carefree state. So once you go in, no rules, no judgments, you're making melodies, setting some drums up, getting a whole loop together. Then you could take a break, go into your producer side, which I guess is more of the technical side. Here's where you're gonna take on the more traditional role of what a producer actually does. You're gonna go in now and say, okay, what sounds dope out of this? What can I take out? What can I arrange? Maybe this section sounds better over here. This instrument doesn't sound so good, let's take it out. Or I like the melody on this instrument, maybe just a different patch. This is where you can go in and actually be a producer, being this is what a producer actually does. Go in and make the best out of what you just made. So this may take some practice, but if you do this exercise of going back and forth between these mindsets, your workflow should definitely improve over the long run. Again, I myself am still working on this. I'm not gonna say it's the easiest thing ever, but just go in there, have that on switch for the creative side, take a small break, then come in and actually be a producer. Find all the dope parts, arrange it, mix it, and make the best out of what your creative side just made. So that's pretty much on my take about like beat block, writer's block. I've had all these episodes already and I've never really covered that topic, so I hope that helped a lot of you guys out. And then of course there's the basic things you guys should probably know. Exercise, outside of the studio. Make sure you're eating good, healthy food. I believe sleep is a very big one too. Make sure you get good sleep. a whole bunch of other things just to just basically live a healthy lifestyle, and you should be fine. So that's my take on it. And this beat we're going to be breaking down today is going to serve a good example of what I just explained on my philosophy on beat block. When I started this beat, I really didn't know what to make. I was going over several different ideas, basically judging everything that I was making. Then I just told myself, all right, we're just gonna make something. We're not gonna judge what it is. It's just gonna be something. We're gonna get some work done. And no, it doesn't have to be the best beat you ever made. All that matters is that you got something done. That's another big thing too I forgot to mention about beat block. Let's say you made a crazy beat yesterday. You feel like that was the best beat you ever made. You come in the next day to make a beat. So that next day when you go in, I can guarantee you that there's a good chance that you're probably not gonna get anything done that day. And the reason for that being is we felt like we made something so great yesterday that the next thing we have to make has to be as good as or top that. That is not true, so you have to get rid of that mindset. Go back to your creative side. Don't be judgmental. Go in and make what speaks to you. Do what you feel is best. All right, so that's my little rant on beat block. Feel free to leave some comments below on how you guys feel about and overcome beat block, writer's block. Let me know in the comments below. I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts on that as well. But anyways, let's get into this beat here and check it out. Alright, so let's get to it. Beat started off with a sample that I found on Splice. I was just scrolling through a bunch of random sounds, looking for something that I feel that speaks to me, not being judgmental over everything. So I came across this guitar melody sample that I thought was pretty dope. And here goes the raw file right here, and I'll play it for you. Once again, I felt that spoke to me. I really liked the background rhythm guitar and the progression it was doing, and the top melody was pretty dope. So this is what we're gonna start with. And again, just having fun, carefree. We dropped the pitch down a couple hundred cents just to change it up a bit. Why not? There was no rhyme or reason why I dropped it down. That was just me, again, having fun with it. So we're going to take it into the mixer now and even have some more fun with it. Once again, there's no rules going on here. This is some crazy EQ I did, dropped off a bunch of the crazy lows. Did a big dip around 2K and cut out most of the highs here. I felt like the guitar itself, all that high end was going to be too pitchy, I guess, when it came to adding like hi-hats and stuff like that. Vecto Melt, Ripples preset, again, because why not? Sound design is another big thing where you're going to go in with no rules. You're going to scroll through some presets on some random VSTs, seeing what kind of craziness you can make out of the guitar or out of whatever instrument you're working with. All of this is just to make the sample sound different from what we already had. So we got some Vecto Melt onto here. Again, Ripples preset. And then we have Filter Freak down sweep. This is actually going to be automated just for the intro, and then I'll sweep down into our drop. So let's go ahead and take a listen to our guitar now. Minus the Filter Freak, I'll reintroduce that for the intro. But here's what it sounds like. So there goes our new guitar there. That's also going to be for the intro of the beat. So now being that it's the intro, I'll turn on the Filter Freak here on the down sweep so we can kind of hear how it's going to transition in. So we got it on right here. You can see it's slowly moving down here on the frequencies. So on that automated Filter Freak there, that was done later after pretty much the beat was done. That automation and that sweep in was more of my producer side of the brain working. This is where I'm fine tuning everything. We gotta have some sort of intro without being too much in your face. So I thought filtering the guitar down in the intro would be a good idea. But anyways, moving on back to the creative side as I was doing this. This is obviously like a Spanish style guitar, so I'm really feeling we need like some sort of Latin bounce, some percussion loops, so that's exactly what I did. So I actually got two different percussive loops here. Here goes the first one. And here goes the second one. And then on top of all that, I got your basic closed hat here. And now all together, this is what it sounds like. So once I had those drums going on, really just wanted to keep building up on the drums. We've already got a pretty strong melody, being that the sample has a rhythm and a lead guitar in it. So from there, I really just kept building. So one other instrument I did add was some arcade. This is the Pocket Band line. And then I got the Dub Heist driver pack for it. And I found this guitar strum and loop in here I felt would sit nice with our guitar. This honestly sounds like some Lenny Kravitz, if you know what I'm talking about. But this will sit nice behind our guitar here. So that was pretty much our melodics for it. I'm already liking the bounce from the drums, so I really just wanted to get in and do the drums. So that's what I pretty much did. So let's go over the drums here. So here goes everything that we already had. Our two percussive loops, closed hat. Go ahead and throw in our clap here. Little percussion roll. Our 808 was crucial here. Again, I was just really having fun with it, doing what I felt. Open hat, layer up with a kick, snare fill. So there goes our drums there, and again, what sparked me just to really kind of jump in on the drums early, I guess if you would say, was just the bounce that I initially got from the percussion loops. And again, the percussion loops came from the inspiration from the guitar, being that it was a Spanish guitar. So once you get in this creative head of yours and just get in that mindset, it really just becomes a domino effect on stuff you're adding in, melodies you're writing. One thing literally leads to another when you get in that zone. So don't be afraid to go too far. Again, once you take that break, get that producer head on, you can start taking stuff out, putting things where they need to go, and just fine-tuning everything. So let's take a look at what it all sounds like now for the drop. So there pretty much goes right there. This was all built from that creative side, just being carefree, just doing what I felt really. Right at this point where I had everything built up, this is where kind of the producer side of the brain turns on. Now we can take what we got, structure it out, make a full record out of it. This all started from the intro with the Filter Freak filtering the guitar in, and then making the decision that the part that I just played, that's going to be the hook for the track. From there I can kind of break it down a little bit, structure it out, make some verses. All that is all producer side stuff. Again, that's traditionally what a producer's job is. So let's jump in and explain what I mean here. This is going to be the beginning of the verse, and you can see I strip a lot of stuff down here. Still with my producer brain turned on, I know these percussive loops really harmonize well with the track. It really just gives it that bounce. So I know, yes, this needs to stay. This actually needs to run through the whole beat. We need that bounce to the whole track here. So that's why I got them on during the first 4 bars of the verse. And still, during our verse, we're going to have one of them on. It just helps with that bounce. And And then towards the end of the verse, we can mellow back out a little bit to get ready for our drop back into the hook. And then of course, we're going to go back into the hook, and then after that, we're going to repeat into the second verse. So there it goes right there. That is the whole beat there, all done. Pretty simple, all we really needed, all I felt that was needed. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I really got into detail today about, I guess, the modes that I get into when I'm making my beats. I also want to mention too, when you get on that producer side, don't get super technical about it, because again, it's just a beat. It would be a good idea to come up with a concept for an artist, or if you don't, and if you're playing it for an artist and it's too technical, they're not going to get any inspiration off of it, because again, they're going to have to start from that creative mindset about no rules, no judgments, and then from there build up and make it the best it can be. So there it goes right there. Again, if this video helped or inspired you in any way, please leave a thumbs up on the video. I would greatly appreciate that. Make sure you're subscribed as always as well, because I'm going to be back next Sunday with another video just like this, breaking down beats, songs, showing you guys everything that I do. But that is all for me today. I will see you guys next week. I'm out. Peace.